folks, I'm Nim Jickles. This is the Ain't That a Bitch podcast, our 4th episode. Joining me today is Aiden Ballard. He made it to his 50% work ethic. So we're going
in
1
fairness,
for 2.
It's Aiden Ballard once again.
That is true. He did make an appearance on the our lost episode 3, which I guess that would bring you up to 3 out of. Wait, what would that take you to? 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be here next week, basically. I should just text Sean right now and tell him to show up. He for every time you don't show up, someone else gets to be on the podcast. Actually, we already have a punishment going for Aiden because he can never get the audio. He has a whole week to do like 3 edits to an audio track and send it to Sean, who has to do all the actual work. And he still can't ever get it to him until like Sunday morning. So for every episode of this podcast that doesn't come out on the date, which is every Sunday, Aiden's going to be paying each one of our followers on Instagram $1 out of his own pocket, not out of the Nim Jickles Entertainment Coffers. No, I didn't ask him at all. But you'll have seen that announcement go up if you follow us on Instagram, which you should. If you don't, plug that at Nim Jickles Entertainment on Instagram, and then so that'll keep you up to date. Right now, there's not anything terribly interesting on there. It's just I guess I'll put up every new episode on there in case you don't. It's still really hard to find us on YouTube because we're.
Well, in fairness, I did realize I searched this up today.
Yeah.
I started typing in Nim Jickles.
Yeah.
And then there was only 2 options, and the top one was Nim Jickles Entertainment.
Is that because you had searched it before?
No, I hadn't.
And it saved it on your profile, though?
It's because I recently downloaded Chrome, much to Sean's liking, I'm sure.
Okay.
But so I hadn't actually used it at all, and so when the first thing I type in, and it means we're out there.
Well, it's likely that Google's already been storing your information for years, even before you had Chrome.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, anytime you use the search engine, it's kind of just it's collecting all of that into its massive database for when it creates the Google Matrix. But that's cool. Yay. The podcast title still pretty low on the list of things that YouTube recognizes. Yeah, searchability probably. This is why you have marketing teams. They actually put like thought and they get paid to come up with things like this so that people can actually find your product. But whatever, we're like, funny name, and that's what we went with. But regardless,
the funny part of it makes it almost clickbaity, honestly. If I saw a podcast called Charles Kills Everything, I would click on that.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but you wouldn't see it. That's the thing. You have to be looking for it at this point. So then you look for it with the intention of watching it. Regardless, that being said, that's kind of the point. Just like, if we can get followers on Instagram, they can just find it. With all the people scrolling through, like, you're just curmudgeon of like people you don't know and have never talked to, and you just follow because the whatever Mark Zuckerberg told you to do. We're gonna get that up, but also later on as well. I was trying to get around to is announcements like that will be made on the Instagram account, like the one that I made on Aiden's behalf. So that's basically, it serves a double purpose. Is that it's a punishment for Aiden of don't fuck up anymore, but also a reward for people to follow us on social media. It's like, you get money out of it. You're never going to, because Aiden's never going to release a video late anymore, right?
Now that you said it,
no, you can't.
But
you better not.
Like, I'm saying, you just jinxed it.
Well, look, I fully intended to not have you spend any money on this and just get the damn videos out. Honestly, I would rather you just have the videos come out. I don't feel like
you guys appreciate how hard it actually is to edit the freaking audio. I have to listen to it at least once to find out where I need to edit, and then I need to listen to it again to like make sure all the edits are half decent. And so in the end, no matter how difficult or how many edits there were, it's at least 3 hours.
But that's like a self-proclaimed burden. Like, you don't have to edit anything almost. Well, you decide what is the threshold for like this is so bad I need to edit it out.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is even if it's a perfect episode, I'm listening to it for at least an hour and a half. And if I make one edit, it's at least 3 hours.
Fair. But then you don't have to listen to the whole thing to hear the one edit, though. You just listen to the clip with the edited part, right?
I guess. Okay. One edit maybe was an exaggeration. But for instance, episode 3, which is coming out at the time of this recording, I did five or six. Yeah. Because Charles had a cold and he coughed and it made very loud sounds.
Don't tell them that. They're not supposed to know. They're supposed to think it was all part of it. Like, they're not supposed to know we changed anything. Now you've revealed.
Well, anyway, point is, I made 5, 6, 7 edits. And so I did actually have to listen to it over twice.
Okay, but is that so terrible? I mean, you tell me, audience, you would listen to my podcast 2 times in a row in a week, wouldn't you? Yeah. Yes, that's what I thought. The internet is always on my side. It's all Aiden's fault is something that's recently become, and it's completely unintentionally. It's not like I pushed this in any way. It just kind of comes up where everything is pretty much Aiden's fault. Mm-hmm. And when we initially entitled our failed attempt at a 3rd episode, that I thought that would be the end of it, is that's the title of the episode. At this point, it could just be our secondary slogan for the show, is it's all Aiden's fault. True. Which in his defense, though, it's the only reason everything is Aiden's fault is because I don't do anything that could fail. And that's still not my fault, because I would do the editing. I would do all of the editing myself, okay, if I could. It's just, unfortunately, the Chromebook, last I checked, probably isn't going to support, Premiere Pro or something, To be fair, I haven't checked, so you never know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not going to work. And even Aiden is using, GarageBand, so it ends up becoming a 3-step process when really it could easily just be me and Aiden and throwing it back and forth, but I can't even upload the videos. At the end of the day, I have no control over this. I just have to tell other people what to do and just assume that they're gonna listen to me.
Sheesh.
I mean, I'm not complaining, I guess, but yeah, I would absolutely do this myself, given the chance.
Yeah.
So anyways,
see, kids, this is why when you grow up, you need to give your children opportunity and not buy them Chromebooks.
Yes, please. That's true. If
you listen to the lost episode, you'll understand.
Yeah, why Chromebook is just not a sufficient a substitute for actual technologies.
We had a good conversation about that. That among other whack things, but...
It's true, but I guess you'll just have to pay us $4 a month to find out.
Oh, speaking of which, is that the new reward tier? I haven't checked the Patreon.
Oh, yeah, no. Another thing you can take a look at, also linked to on our Instagram account, our Patreon that we put up. At this point, I'm not expecting anyone to be able to use it. It's Patreon, I get, is the kind of generic fallback for starting YouTubers, the low level where maybe you have another job or something and you're just doing a side job, or maybe you just started using YouTube as your primary source of income and you can't make enough money off of whatever ad revenue and views alone, so you have a Patreon. Mm-hmm. It's pretty decent, but it's not 100% user friendly. Just a couple of suggestions I would make, let people pay less than $1. I mean, I understand maybe for most of you guys, all right, way up there in your palace in the clouds, you might think that $1 a month is nothing. But to high school kids, come on, if you have a dime every 30 days,
$12 a year.
That's my whole meal at McDonald's right there, is that paying 50 cents a month. And that'll feed me.
That is why $3 a week. Wait, month? It's month, right?
It's per month, yeah. But
yeah, that's why $3 a month is called our pimp class.
Yeah, $3 a month, you're already a high school pimp.
Yeah. I love how we basically just recorded 10 minutes of us referencing other ways to, basically it's 10 minutes of promotion so far.
Basically, it's pretty much what it's been. Time to start the episode, by the way. So, yeah, this is episode 3. Just starting out, we're gonna cut all that, right, Aiden?
Sure, including the part where you said it was episode 3.
No, I just said it just now. It's episode 3. Howdy, folks. I'm Nim Jickles, and this is the Ain't That a Bitch podcast, episode 3. We can't cut it. We're not going to cut anything.
This is episode 4.
Oh, yeah, good point. Oh, that was your point. Oh, that makes sense. I feel like we're just perpetually stuck on episode 3. I've already recorded episode 3 2 times now, so I don't know how to do the intro any other way.
We should just, as a joke, just start calling all of them episode 3.
Now just actually cut all this out. I'm not even kidding.
Okay, I'll cut this.
Howdy, folks. I'm Nim Jickles, and this is the Ain't That a Bitch podcast, episode 4. This is Aiden Ballard. He's with me here today again. Something lost episode audio with Aiden Ballard on it, and now he's here and he's showing up to work this time. Thank you.
All right.
Anyways, okay, you got anything to say for us, Aiden?
We were talking before we started recording about The Mandalorian.
That's right.
That new TV show.
So last week, or for people listening today, the day that this is recorded, you're going to hear me mention a little bit about the Disney Plus thing, because that has come out recently, at least in, I guess, North America. I've been seeing some stuff. Evidently, it's not out in Europe yet. So,
Oof,
yeah, I
rough.
know.
That's rough.
To be fair, like, I'm in the same boat, because basically what all the Europeans are doing is just pirating, whatever they want to watch, and I'm pretty much going to do that myself, since even though Disney Plus is available here, I'm not going to pay for it. Yeah, look, I mean, again, if you've watched the episode, you know why. I'm not going to do that.
Like, at this point, the only reason that you would pay for Disney Plus is for The Mandalorian.
Yeah, and it's
because that's the only anticipated TV show that's up on there that wasn't previously released. So they have The Simpsons on there, but
Disney Plus originals basically.
Yeah. That's the only one.
Yeah, which to be fair has already won more than anything that Netflix original has ever released.
Yeah,
that
good
people
point.
have actually anticipated.
Well, Stranger Things had a good run.
That's right. Stranger Things was a big deal. I don't even think of that as a Netflix original. Is the thing. It was too good for Netflix.
Yeah.
HBO should have snatched that one up or something. I don't know.
I can understand if you don't want to pay whatever it is, $15 a month for
for the Mandalorian show.
For the weekly TV show.
Again, it's the same as people getting. I think it is HBO for Game of Thrones or what's the other one that people were binging that wasn't on Netflix? Ancient, days of yore when there was shows that were streaming on services other than Netflix. There was something else.
Crave is the HBO streaming service. So Crave is the Game of Thrones.
Okay. There's something else going on. I don't know. Remember cable television, guys?
Ugh, I hated that. I hate watching that now.
Now
honestly,
it is impossible. You can't get it.
Every 5 minutes having a commercial in a movie or something like that, I freak out. I actually start to feel anxious.
That said, I think one of the funniest things that we have done as a society, as people have done, is now we watch almost exclusively off of streaming services that we pay for instead of paying for cable, so that we don't have to watch commercials like Netflix and whatever. And then we'll go on to YouTube, which is also, by the way, something that has ads, and then we get an ad blocker to block those ads. Then we go on YouTube and go and search for old 2000s toy commercials for nostalgia purposes. So we go out of our way to pay extra money to not have ads, and then go and then get
see the ads
programs to block the ads on the thing that is already free. And then we go and watch the ads. Yeah, we go and look up the ads for free, and then it gets on trending or
that makes sense, because it's all in choice. That's the whole purpose of the streaming services,
I guess
you choose what you're watching. For one, you choose that you don't want to have ads, and so if you choose to watch an ad, it doesn't feel like an ad,
Yeah. I mean, that's the old Tom Sawyer whitewashing story.
Yeah,
That's just classic, I guess. But it is really funny to me that it's something that's evolved, because we got from a time when there was TV and radio just became a thing, and then from that you had to have those advertisements born, because I mean advertisement was of course a thing already, but it's there's a big difference between plastering a voice or a image in front of your on your screen and like shouting at you to buy this product. There's a big difference between that and like taping up like an essay with all the issues of the Catholic Church on like some church door or something. That said, very effective advertising.
I hope Martin Luther doesn't have a patent.
Martin Luther, little known fact, if he had actually decided to invest in YouTube ads, could have spread Lutheranism? Lutheranism? That sounds right. I don't know. Anyways, could have spread that way further, would have been way better than Christianity, which, by the way, honestly would have been, or Catholicism, yeah, which probably would have been preferable, to be fair.
And here we are. Charles was promised from the first episode.
Oh,
we are now
right.
talking
you're
about
right. I'm waiting.
religion.
How many episodes did I say I was going to wait? Probably 3 or 4. I think I'm still going to wait till Isaac gives me the go-ahead. Okay. I'm going to get Isaac on an episode and then talk about it then, which is probably the opposite of what you want to do, because then I'm going to release all the pent-up stuff I had to talk about, and he's just going to like blow up on
yeah. Well, podcast. It might be good, because if me and you started talking about religion right now, we'd just like roast it.
It's true.
Isaac could defend it.
It's to give him control.
It'd be good.
Which is why I'm going to do that. So, yeah.
All right.
Shout out.
So, once again, Isaac, you're welcome.
Yep. And thank you. Honestly, we've gone too far as it is probably, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So that said, yeah, to get around that topic, I guess we'll just go back to The Mandalorian, which, to be fair, I wanted to talk about anyways.
Speaking of religion, the Mandalorian's religion is weapons, and that was a segue.
Is that? I don't know. I haven't watched the show. Is that a thing?
It was like a single line in the first episode.
My religion is weapons.
Weapons are my religion.
Yeah. Is he? Wait. Does so?
Oh no! Wait. That was second episode.
Oh no! Aiden, that's it. The fans are gonna be crawling all over you now. Know. You're gonna get flayed alive. You're gonna lynched in the comment section.
Yeah.
Not that anyone uses it except Isaac Larson apparently in the comment first.
I thought that was Nick.
Nicholas did ask for where the second episode was, but when it came out, the only person who commented was Isaac. He just commented first, as if those assholes still existed. I thought that trend died with fidget spinners.
Oh my god! Don't even remind me. Okay. I have the best story about getting a fidget spinner ever, because it's the most ridiculous place to get a fidget spinner.
Okay.
I was golfing.
Oh.
Golfing.
Okay.
And I gave my clubs to the club attendant.
Yeah.
And because we were renting a cart.
Caddies.
No, we rented a cart
to
go on the course, and so he was taking back the cart, and But he was helping us out, and he turned to me. He's like, "Hey kid, you want a fidget spinner?" I'm like, "I hear you guys like those."
Little did you know that was a storage compartment for cocaine.
Yeah,
it was a fidget spinner.
Like who?
It was a counterfeit fidget spinner.
Course?
He was getting those counterfeit fidget spinners into circulation.
Yeah. But like a golf course is the least likely place I would think to find a fidget spinner. And it was years after the trend died.
Out of curiosity, was the person who gave you the fidget spinner Bill Murray? By any chance?
No. Okay. Didn't even... He was like maybe 30 or 40.
So young Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. He probably had got it for like his son or something, and then the trend died, and he was like, his son just didn't want it anymore, and he didn't know what to do with it.
Some rich kid playing golf.
I have a fidget spinner, don't I? I don't know. I haven't seen it in years. I got one, like you say, from a friend who just gave it to me for free because, like,
trend died.
Well, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Actually, that was still during the trend. I had a friend who wasn't really into the fidget spinner thing, but realized like that people were nutting all over it. So he went to China, as you can do. China really jumped on the fidget spinner thing, by the way. Mm-hmm. Like, there's not that anyone would be aware of that logically, but if you go to China, one of the big things in China is just street markets everywhere you go. People selling shit on the side of the road. Open air markets, and so you can get like food and produce and stuff, and then there's just a lot of like cheap toys and crap to catch like kids' attention, and a lot of stuff that's like tourist traps, for white people. Mm-hmm. But in recent years the fidget spinner thing just blew up and like didn't die out. They didn't get the memo that the trend died in the West, so they just kept doing it because like the Chinese kids don't give a shit that it's a trend. They're just like, it's being sold and it's costs like the equivalent of a fifth of an American dollar. So I'll buy it for my kid, sure, to shut them up. But it's so funny how China does this all the time. They take, American or whatever, North American, Western ideas, totally steal it, break all kinds of copyright laws, but then like they do their own thing with it, where to the point where it's almost their own product. And like on the one hand, I want to commend them for, it's like, you guys took an invention and actually like added on to it. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but you probably did that with completely underpaid labor forces. Yeah. And in the first place, you didn't pay for like the copyright usage.
Your innovation was lowering the cost. And
exactly.
The cost lowering was because the people are...
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of like, okay, if we cheapen the cost of producing a fidget spinner to like 1/100th of the cost, we can add 100 times more sides on the spinner. Like, that was the equivalent logic, I think. Like, but it's just the craziest shit. They have like their Captain America shield spinners, and you spin it and like twirl. They just combine crap all the time. It's like we're ripping off the Captain America shield with a fidget spinner, which could be an actual thing that is like, oh, Marvel themed fidget spinners, like the arc reactor or whatever, which would be stupid. But it's like they're not committed to it because no one actually really knows what Captain America is. So it's also it's not fully like the shield design, is what it's like what it's supposed to be. But then they also are like, I'm going to throw in something else in there too. And so they make it like a swirl so that when you spin it, it does like the hypnotic swirl thing. So it's so fun. It's like three things in one. It's like the fidget spinner with like the visual illusion thing, but then it's also Captain America's shield. They just don't commit to any one thing because they can do whatever they want. They just steal everything else, and it's like it's as many things as they can do to like send little neurons firing off in a child's brain, basically, to say I want that.
Literally like the toy stands at like Disneyland or whatever.
Yeah, basically, it's all but across the country. Yeah. It's just as many. It's like as many flashing. It's like if you've watched the Ready Player One movie, when the dude, when whatever his name is, Krennic guy, the bad dude is like showing what he's gonna do if he buys the Oasis. It's like, oh yeah, our statisticians have said like we can fill like 73% of the player's vision with advertisements before they like have seizures or something, like before it'll induce epilepsy from like the flashing advertisements on a person's screen, which is basically what YouTube is ending up going to become, like project in the next 5 years or so.
Speaking of which, YouTube is adding so many ads and getting so desperate with adding ads that I think our first episode had an ad on it.
There's no way.
When I watched it, there was a banner ad about 15 minutes into the video.
That's crazy.
I know.
We didn't even ask for that.
It's crazy.
Thanks, YouTube. I sure hope it didn't pop up like right when I said fuck or something. That'd be a little awkward for their algorithms. It's like
it'd be hilarious.
I still don't have any idea.
What if
how
when
you're
like talking about Pokemon on the episode that's coming out this week, and an ad for Pokemon comes up, and you're like, "What is this shit?"
yeah. Pokemon Sword.
What is this guy supposed to be?
Comes out. It's stupid. I'm sorry, guys. No, I'm not. But honestly, to be fair to YouTube, we kind of have to take some responsibility for being the cause of like the advertisement hyperinflation. I don't know anyone who doesn't watch YouTube with an ad block at this point. So like for the 3 people who haven't figured out what it is yet, or like the moms and toddlers who just watch unboxing videos or whatever, YouTube's like, we have to compensate. We just pile ads on there. How do YouTubers even make money anymore? Who actually watches the ads?
I don't know, because it doesn't matter. I think
how much. Yeah, how much does the ad block? Like, do they still get the revenue off of those ads existing?
I think so.
Even if you don't watch it,
because like the way it would work, business perspective wise, right? Is YouTube would show a company the statistics of the sheer amount that people watch.
Yeah, how many people watch this video or this channel,
right?
And then advertisers be like, I want to advertise that.
Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't matter that the ad didn't get to the consumer. The ad got
as long as they don't know that, though.
Yeah, it means YouTube's still getting paid because the ad was up in the first place. So really, when you're blocking ads on YouTube, the people you're hurting is the people who are trying to put the ads on.
To be fair, those people are scumbags anyway, so I see if I care. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of them must have figured out at some point, right, that we're just blocking all their ads. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of those people. They live in such a different world than like the real one, so they don't even realize these things. I guess it's kind of a similar deal with VPNs, you know.
I kind of like though that there's ad psychology for YouTube. So for instance, I note that if there's an ad that says, "Wait, before you skip, we want to talk," I'm like, "Fuck you,"
and you're gonna skip it. Yeah.
But if there is and I'm not joking with this, a 2-hour long advertisement.
Yeah.
Which is literally a like.
You're gonna watch it because it might be the entire Lego movie.
Yeah, it was like it was one of those whack like film festival documentaries. Except they just put the documentary as the ad.
How much does that cost? I
don't know, but
don't longer advertisements cost more?
The whole thing.
Why? What was it?
I watched a 2-hour advertisement for a 30-minute video.
What was it? Was it good?
It was like it was about a hummingbird. Like, it was going around laying eggs and sucking flowers. And I was like, it was in my head. In my head, I got those two things mixed up. For a second, I was really confused.
Like,
and it was like a nature documentary type thing. And at the end of it, it was like, so save the hummingbirds. Donate today.
So you just watched Planet Earth, National Geographic, while waiting for your video to load.
Yeah.
I guess that's cool. I don't know. I haven't watched ads in so long, and honestly, a lot of the times it's like I just forget to turn off my ad block. Like I kind of want to. Again, I don't, because I'm not 100% sure how the ads work. Like you said, I think maybe the revenue still gets to the creators even if you don't watch the ads. But sometimes it's just like I see creators there are some creators that I really like to watch who I know are not big time YouTubers, and I'm like, you know, just in case, I kind of do want to just turn off the ad block so that they can for sure get the money that they definitely deserve, especially since I can't get on something like Patreon.
Yeah.
The real reason I need the ad block, to be honest, is because it was because I just used YouTube to listen to music basically before I got a phone. That was yeah, I did the old Andre YouTube playlist. I mean, if those people are Chromebook users, then that's like you. Yeah, that's not what I use YouTube for. But anyway,
you have brain cells, so
it's true. You
try not to lose.
You can fact check it, like Wikipedia, that Charles has brain cells. But regardless, I use YouTube for my music listening, and that's definitely the most annoying thing is listening to, and then I got a phone. I was like, oh, now I can get like Spotify or something. Yeah, it still has ads, so
you may as well use Spotify.
Problem unsolved. Basically,
like YouTube, with the sheer amount of ads, now nearly every video has a before video ad. So at that rate, you're better off listening on Spotify, which gives you an ad. I think it's on like a timer every 10 minutes about Spotify.
Yeah, basically.
So,
which is just like those YouTube ads where it just goes YouTube logo goes bling. But I don't get the point. Why?
I've never seen those, honestly.
You never got that? I mean, now I think they got replaced by YouTube, like get YouTube Premium or whatever and stuff. But before they had that, before YouTube, whatever, like the paid services were a thing, they would just have YouTube ads, which doesn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm on YouTube, listening to YouTube, watching YouTube videos. I'm not leaving. Like you don't need to. They're like, let's make sure we get them. I'm just gonna stay on YouTube.
Make you leave.
It is pretty annoying. It's true.
Like.
That being said, like to your point with the ad for when you just watched a nature ad for whatever reason, back when I didn't have the ad block on, I would occasionally just watch ads that like some of them are just entertaining. Honestly, I mean it's something to do with like, again, when we're talking about television commercials, none of them really had that kind of thing because they were always trying to sell a product. What's cool about the YouTube ads to me is like, and now I'm not really sure how it is because now I know they pile on the ads. They have a bunch and a lot of it's just getting kind of wild. But there was a point where a lot of the ads on YouTube were people promoting their own channels and stuff, or people using YouTubers to promote things on YouTube. And it's like, that's clever to me. So there was a period where League of Legends was doing a lot of promotional stuff. They were making a lot of ads.
Shit,
and
I remember that.
I never gave a shit about League of Legends, but there was this one ad that one of the guys would do because they would get YouTube animators to do stuff about it because, you know, the YouTube gaming and animation world was getting really big and it was attracting a lot of people. So there's this one animator that they got to do an ad for League of Legends. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about League of Legends. I'm never going to play it, even if I didn't have a Chromebook. Okay, I don't care in the slides. But his animation and voice was just like so satisfying to look at and like really, honestly, legitimately entertaining. I would watch the full ad every time and I like memorized the whole thing.
I've seen like Magic the Gathering ads that are doing the same thing.
Yeah? Oh, I haven't. Yeah, I guess those are more recent.
Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, stuff I watch caters to those people, even though I'm like opposed to
I think
Gathering. And stuff like that.
It's supposed to be targeted, but like I say, a lot of the advertisers don't really get the people that they're trying to target. So a lot of time, but like I say, I don't care at all about the game. Love the guy's animation and just his voice. It's so nice to listen to it. I can't remember what the guy's called, but it's like
with double ads. If I watched said 2-hour documentary in order to watch my like 20-minute video. I may have to watch an ad after the 2-hour documentary.
Unskippable. That would be unfortunate. Well, at that point, you just leave.
Yeah.
At that point, it would just be like a TV commercials. Like that's when you go for like your chip break or whatever, and before the game starts again or something.
Yeah. And that's just like sports are the one thing that's still bearable to watch on TV because they hold off on ads for sports so well.
They do like the electric company thing, right? Where in between clips they'll just like show highlight reels or something.
Yeah, they have
like people talking about it.
They have like
well, see, the advertisements for that is just sponsorships. They'll just be like, "This game brought to you by Budweiser" or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and they're like really short when the game's actually on, and then like in intermissions or whatever, then they run like all kinds of ads. But then because it's all in a block, once,
and you just leave.
It's great. It's basically adless.
Yeah,
if you're doing it right.
I can see the appeal of that. To me, again, I never have been a huge sports guy. I definitely don't watch a lot of sports. To me, it's like I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, why would you, watch people play video games instead of just playing it yourself? Or like, why would you just watch people play sports instead of playing it yourself? Like, no, I get that. But to me, I'm not that interested in it because I don't
know, Deborah. Why do you watch makeup tutorials when you still look that ugly?
Yeah, maybe. No, but I don't know. To me, sports is like, if you want to watch it, like really watch and get something out of it, you kind of got to get into it, So it's like you got to pick a sport and then you got to learn like the people's names on it and like who does what and what. I don't know anything about it.
Basically, I feel sports on TV are just catered to people who have played that sport.
I guess.
Or are raised around it.
Or yeah.
Because I tried watching a European football game, soccer.
Oh, it's very different.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And they're like, when it comes across the X line and takes a shot.
That's excellent.
Like, goes in with the header and then does a double, I don't even Meg.
He knocked the ball, give it a nutty. Apparently that's British call headbutt nutting. Because you call your head your nut, so.
Yeah, like the lingo is so.
I'm a nut you. Why are you giving me that look? Give me a nutty. Oh, I love British slang. It's just absurd. But anyways, so to that point, I don't watch a lot of sports, but people in my family sometimes do, and I'll just like be seeing it. To me, the most amusing things about those advertisements is, like you say, the like sponsorships and stuff. They're not obtrusive to the viewing experience nearly as much. To me, it's very funny. To be honest, it's quite amusing to just be like, this is the final like showdown ultimate deathmatch cup of world tournament final glory, blood, guts, and winners, brought to you by Chicken on the Way.
This is your next hero, brought to you by Chicken on the Way.
And it's like everything, It's like, this is America's Got Talent. This is where people will become superstars. Their dreams will be made come true or shattered and crushed. This is a delicious Bud Light beer. Yeah. like when they're just like drinking their sponsored drink or like whatever.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is when it has nothing to do with it whatsoever. It's just like, do you love hockey? Well, then you probably need to get your tires checked. Do I?
The ads that fail there's an Intact insurance ad, and it's like, stay in the game. Oh man,
insurance everywhere.
But like they try to make some kind of hockey related pun when I'm watching hockey, right?
Ooh.
So they'll be like, score this drink tonight, or like, reach your exercise goal. You know? Like, and so they become almost as entertaining as the game sometimes.
That's funny. That's like, I guess it's like the Super Bowl ads are traditionally like pretty entertaining ads.
Yeah. You watch the Super Bowl for the ads.
It's true. I definitely do, because I know I don't give a damn about football in the slightest. But
Speaking of football, today's the Grey Cup, and what are we choosing to do? Record a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, this is okay.
Yeah, the 1 year Calgary hosts the Grey Cup is like the only year in recent memory where the Stampeders did not make it to the Grey Cup game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds like we suck, I guess.
Yeah, for the first time in like, I don't know, maybe like 7 years.
So what is it, like the Olympics? It travels around places hosting it, or
so
what?
So in the CFL, regardless of who makes it actually into the final, cities bid on who gets to host the final. And so the 1 year Calgary freaking bid on the Grey Cup is the 1 year the Calgary Stampeders are not going to play in the Grey Cup.
Well, that's silly. I mean, should have just been better, guys.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Bo Levi Mitchell. I won't get into that.
Cool.
It'd be such a target audience. It'd be ridiculous. Anyway, moving on.
I don't think anyone, cool enough or like in good enough shape to watch sports would listen to this. It's not what they're here for. Yeah. Yeah, but let's be honest. Isaac's like the coolest loser.
True.
He doesn't make any sense. That's all like a whole other conversation. But going
Steven.
Oh
my goodness,
Steven's just kind of there. Yeah, I don't know.
Steven is ridiculously athletic.
Yeah.
So is Nandin.
Yeah, well, Nandin.
And yet,
Nandin doesn't really count as a normal.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to go
Steven
in.
Perplexes me.
I feel like Steven is the kind of person who's just gonna be fine no matter what happened. They just kind of like get through to the end of life, and at the end it's just gonna be like, I did it. And die. It's like, I don't think he's gonna be like sad, you know. He's not gonna be able to have regrets, like, other than like.
That's the most accurate description of Steven that I've ever heard. He just doesn't have regrets.
He's a positive guy. It's great. Yeah. I envy him, but
I've never, ever seen him like actually sad about anything.
Upset,
He's like, no, I got a 98% on this test. Nanda got like 2% better than me.
No, Nanda got 3% better.
Yeah.
Then he goes home and he just like starts cutting up plush dolls or something.
Yeah, he must.
Yeah,
it's the only way he can cope.
He just goes home and he starts lighting things on fire to cope with life in high school. And just stabbing like voodoo dolls of all of us. We have no idea. He secretly, he's got like a death list for every one of us. Everyone he went to Louis with.
For sure.
He's been plotting it. He's waiting till the last day of grade 12.
Yeah, eventually.
Unless you're going to college with him, in which case he's going to wait.
Eventually Steven's going to snap.
It's going to break.
We don't want to be there when it happens.
No. Or he'll just be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. One way or the other.
I don't know. Maybe he's just not sad because he has nothing to be sad about.
I can't imagine that he does, but also I don't have any idea. I don't know anything about him, to be honest.
I don't know. He gets good grades. Like people like him. I've never heard anyone slam Steven.
You can't. You got nothing on him.
Yeah.
The only thing you can say about Steven is like, you're just too nice.
Yeah.
You're too nice. Like, someone could like step on your head and then trip, and then you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, trip.
So sorry about that. Yeah. I'm terribly sorry, and help them up. Does Steven listen to this?
I don't know. I don't
think he does.
He's too pure.
You better. That's true. This would hurt his heart.
Yeah.
This show. I think most of it would go over his head. Like not to say anything.
We should force him to listen to the lost episode. Not to come back to plugging it, but we should force him to.
That'd be really hard.
Because that was such a terrible conversation.
It was just terrible in that. Yeah, it was great. It was phenomenal content, but it's just bad.
Yeah,
bad things. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, even if my parents were gonna pay me $4 a month, I wouldn't let them listen.
Yeah, that conversation was like midget porn. If you're into that stuff, it
was like midget porn.
If you're into that,
short and disgusting.
Like, if you're into that stuff, you're like, oh, this is so good, but it's so bad.
No. Like, it was like midget porn. It was creative. It was creative and offensive.
Jesus.
I don't know where you got that metaphor from, but I just kind of went with it. I don't know.
Speaking of metaphors,
Andre
of midgets, cannot. That worked out really well. Anyway, Andre Bakhtiari is the best person at coming up with freaking metaphors.
Oh yeah?
Like, have you ever heard him just come up with something on the spot?
I've heard Andre come up with a lot of things on the spot, and it's usually something along the lines of just like, you fucking fuck you fucking ho fuck off, fuck you, fuck.
Sex thrown in there a couple
sex,
times.
Penis, balls, cock, sex, fuck.
Yes.
That's like, if Andre were to do improv comedy, I think he'd just go up to a stage and start saying that. Fuck niggas, sex, balls, vagina, fuck, and then you just leave.
Yeah.
And then you just start slaughtering baby animals.
He comes up with the weirdest, most accurate things ever.
Does he?
Because I owe him like $50 or something stupid because I buy too much food. And so when I am like buying food, he'll like come up with like, he's like, oh, so you're just gonna like keep buying food even though you're in debt to me like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, you're gonna start boiling a pot of water while your house burns down, you know?
Oh, like, I've heard him say stuff like that. Are
like
those
stuff like that, and he just comes up with it on the spot, and they're actually good.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't. What does that mean? Boiling a pot of water while your house burns down.
I made it up. It's not good.
Oh, well then that's a terrible example. I thought you were gonna give an example of something he actually said. I've heard some of his.
See, doing that would be like me saying like, "Oh, Andre can play the piano really well," and then trying to play the piano. I can't play the piano.
But neither can Andre. Yeah. To be fair, I hope you realize that he almost definitely gets those off of like how to become a badass, amazing, awesome, world's best debater tutorials on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which,
or like he gets them off of like good metaphors for my English essay, and he just uses the ones that he hasn't put in the essay yet. Unfortunately, those videos don't teach him about apostrophes.
Speaking of which, I would like to point out that in my first year of debate, my first 3 debates I have ever done, I have won second twice.
Oh, you want a fucking medal for that? Wait, you already got one.
I won 2 medals for that. The first 3 debates I have ever done. And I'm pretty proud of that because I didn't even get carried.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's kind of how the debate season starts. Lucy and Andre's first debate, they got gold. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Oh.
And then literally it was downhill from there. It's mostly it's Andre's work ethic. He starts strong and then just gives up.
He's already given up with me. He doesn't write scripts and stuff, and I don't understand it. He's like, no. As long as I have facts, I can go up there and I can wing it. And somehow he wings it, and he's half decent.
Look, nothing Andre says or does makes any sense, and it's really simpler to just leave it at that.
It's like, okay, it's like how Andre, for entertainment, watches
dogs being
watches the PETA videos. You're terrible. Terrible.
Okay, I don't want to say anything more about that, honestly. It'll be a whole episode someday or something. We'll have to get him on it and then just put him through like the 3rd degree. But there's no moving that guy. He's, one thing you can say is he's definitely got conviction.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. But we should probably get off that though. But going back to you were talking about midgets, I guess. Yeah.
That.
Sure, why not? I'll do this.
Okay.
If you remember our band teacher, Mr. Part, from Louis Riel, shout out. He had a real issue with people who wanted to get rid of the word midget. So that's something in sports leagues, youth sports leagues. They have tiers, and one of the tiers is the midget league.
Just to clarify here, So minor hockey. Mm-hmm. All of the names for minor hockey levels, like age groups, it's like novice, like Atom, Pee-wee, Bantam, and Midget.
Yeah. I don't even know what Bantam means, but I assume, they all just mean...
But they all mean small people.
Yeah.
But
anyway. Midget is the one that people get offended by because, I don't know. But to me, I don't get it in the slightest. Like, first of all, it's not like racial slurs. It's not like gender things. I've never once heard an actual midget be offended by being called a midget. Mm-hmm. Okay, if anything, they embrace the word, absolutely. And it's not like black people who use the N-word. It's like they embrace it totally. There's regular sized people and they're just like, yes, I'm a midget. There is a whole event called midget wrestling. It's phenomenal. It's insane. It's literally just midgets going and beating the shit out of each other, and it's like, and they go crazy.
That might be worse than the porn.
Oh my god! Well, that's what you made me think of. They're probably very close, to be honest. But from what it's just nuts. Apparently, you got your announcer going like, "You guys want to see some midget violence?"
He may be bite-sized, but he'll take a bite out of you.
It's not, man. Midget wrestlers must have like the best names, you know.
Oh my gosh, Little Wonder.
The half pint horror. It's nuts though. But the midget thing, don't get it whatsoever. I can't really say for sure, but I believe if I was a little man, I would not. Just think about it. Put yourself in their shoes for a second. Because I'm almost 100% certain that the people who have issues with this, like the parents and stuff, who are angry about this, are just Karen assholes who are making decisions for them.
On the note of Karen, just to sidetrack the conversation for one moment, last episode we mentioned Deborah. This episode I'm mentioning Deborah. I'm making Deborah the official scapegoat.
Is our Karen?
Yeah.
Is our Karen?
Yes.
Okay.
Deborah is the reason
you can
that problems exist in the world.
Everything is either Aiden's fault or Deborah's.
Yeah. Anyway, go on with Deborah complaining.
To anyone who's named Deborah, though, and is a perfectly nice and kind person, we apologize.
Because
it's Aiden's fault. I just use it as a one-off joke. Aiden's the one who really... He straight up, he came out on recording and said that Deborahs are all awful and the cause of all problems. So, just...
I'm not sure if I agree with this, but I'm just going to point it out.
It's Aiden's fault.
Yeah.
He hates you. If your name is Deborah, he immediately will assume that you're just terrible and hate you. It's kind of a fact. I'm sorry. I don't agree with it. I don't support
Deborah's
that at all.
Clarence.
I don't support the Deborah-sism.
Some names are just bad, Clarence and stuff like that.
You just don't like Clarence? Cletus. That's a good one.
Cletus, yeah. Cletus. Anyway, moving on.
So whatever I was saying, if you were a person with whatever genetic or situation where you are short like that, would you really, just think about it for a moment, would you really rather have someone be like, oh yeah, that guy, he's a little person? Does that sound better to you than like, as opposed to, yeah, he's a midget. Here's my friend Dave, he's a midget. No, that's my friend Barry, he's a little person. That just, little person implies, that's the thing, midget is a title, okay? You are a midget, you are a man, woman, whatever, you're a midget. A little person implies that there's more, you can become a big person. It's like,
yeah.
Being called like a little person implies that you're not there yet. It's like, you're not all the way there, there's still more you can do.
Is it like a toy brand called Little People?
I don't know, there's like big and tall stores, You would never just go up to a regular sized person and be like, it's a big person, or even it's a regular sized person.
Yeah, regular sized person.
You just be.
How do you identify? Well,
I'm regular sized.
I identify as a big person.
I'm like unleaded.
Yeah.
Midget is fine. Right? If they have a problem, it should be a case by case basis. Really, if you have a specific person that you know and like you're friends with, and they've told you, I don't like being called midget. Just be like, all right, you're a little person.
It's like how I endorse AIDS.
Okay.
Like, not that
I know you need context. I get the context for that, but
so just to clarify, my name is Aiden, and my gym teacher called me AIDS, and I'm happy with this. I like sure.
And then his gym teacher fucked him in the ass and gave him HIV. And then it's just stuck.
I'm pretty sure that gym teacher was a lesbian, so that's whack.
With a strap on. So she's into that.
Yeah, I guess.
This is starting to get too reminiscent of. Yeah, not gonna go back to that.
Oh man.
That's the thing, though.
Yet again, we're plugging the lost episode.
Femdom. You know what? Never mind. I'll let you guys figure it out. I'll let Steven Google it.
Oh yeah.
Just Google Femdom, FEMDOM, or don't. I don't know.
Make sure your safe search is turned off.
Or your Andre.
Yeah.
Now we got back to Andre.
Andre already knows.
Andre knows surprisingly much and little.
Andre, literally, first day of grade 8, he came on the bus and he's like, your mother's gonna fuck you in the ass. I'm like, what the fuck? She doesn't have it. He's like, oh, no. Like with a strap on. It's this new thing. Don't worry about it.
Wait. How new are strap-ons?
No, but he was like, oh yeah, it's a trend. It's a new trend on
now. Pornhub right now. Yeah, it is.
He knew about it. He's keeping up with the trends.
Okay, well, can't say. I personally can't really call him out for that one.
And this was grade 8.
I really don't want to still be talking about Andre, but now that you've mentioned it, I have. Like,
well, it's an interconnected. But conversation.
It's true. But it's this thing with Andre where he knows the things that he wants to know, and that honestly makes it even all the more questionable. But for one thing, Andre loves it up the nose. Okay, he wants you to stick your dick up his nose too. Or in his ear. Yeah, he's totally into that. But then at the same time, he's like, he doesn't know what a threesome is. Not really. In 7th grade, I had to go on to Urban Dictionary just to prove this to him. Okay, I had to go home and sacrifice my own search history. Well, I was on incognito, obviously, but I had to go and search up the definition of a threesome because Andre was convinced that it meant 3 guys, 1 girl or something, or 3 girls, 1 guy. He's like thought it was the ratio was the no, because then that would imply the existence of a twosome, which is not a real thing. Threesome means 3 people in total. Okay, the ratio can be FFM or MMF. Exactly. Yeah. MMF incidentally is called a devil's threesome.
Yeah, MMF is 2 gay people with a girl just having.
If they're bi, it works.
I guess.
Or at least one of them is. I mean, that would work great, honestly. Same, I don't know. Girls aren't into anything, apparently. I don't really get that. Perfectly straight women just fuck each other.
Oh, they're
cool, right? It's just, I don't know. To be fair, like, girls way better looking than guys, whatever you're into. I feel like that's proof. Like, pornography is pretty much proof of that, where, like, girls on girls happens all the time with completely straight women. It's like, I think that's proof of whatever you are, straight, gay, man, woman. It's like, girls are just the better gender. We're terrible. We're ugly and hideous. We look bad, sound bad, smell bad. Dicks are just gross, no matter what way you put it. Even if you're attracted to men, I think dicks are still pretty gross.
I've contemplated this, honestly. I was like,
you're not alone.
Like, do women think
ball sacks suck? Boobs are great. Boobs are phenomenal. Vages are interesting.
What if you're trying to read in bed? And
have boobs?
Yeah. What are you supposed to do? Hold the book straight out and arms extended? You'd get so tired.
It'd probably work as a stand. What do you mean? You could rest them on your breasts. I think. That said,
I don't think it would work.
No, but that said, I do see your point. There's definitely a lot of downsides to having just essentially watermelons on the front of your chest.
Yeah.
I mean, it just in fitness, like you see, that's why sporty women can't really be all that voluptuous. It doesn't work. They have to wear the sports bras, You can't even lay flat on your stomach if it gets to a certain point. That must be a real hassle, really. And all the more reason it's just like, thank you for making that sacrifice so that men could have breasts in this world. I mean, you don't really get anything out of it. Right there I'm lying. Women love their breasts, apparently.
I think this is I think I'm cursed for having conversations like these.
It's true.
Because now we've done 2.
It's not a curse. It's just you. You just bring this into it.
I've done nothing like this in regular conversations.
You can't prove that to anyone who listens to this and doesn't have a lengthy conversation with you. You cannot prove that this isn't every time you talk. Because even when I just talk for an hour and a half on my own, nothing like this. Aiden comes immediately, starts bringing up, it's just everything. I don't know what to tell you. This is just you. It is you! I've been doing this for 5 episodes, and only the 2 that you are on were like this. It's all you. How could it not be?
It's all Aiden's fault.
It is!
And Deborah's.
We're not... Jesus Christ. We're not calling this one that, though.
Well, we'll call it It's All Deborah's fault. That's what it'll be. Especially now that I've said it, if it doesn't come out as It's All Deborah's fault, it'll be really, really weird.
Yeah, well, it won't. We'll just cut this, or just be like, fuck you, Aiden, and then not have the title. The title will actually be whatever the actual title is, and it's like, and then in the subtitle will be fuck you, Aiden. We're not calling it that It's All Deborah's fault. That's the full title. But I see what.
Come to think of it, a better title now would be "Fuck You, Aiden."
Sure. I don't. That's not great for searchability though.
Yeah, true.
To get back to the YouTube thing, but as I was trying to say, I don't know. I think boobs kind of are the thing that cross over. You know, they transcend gender. Of like, and I only know this by word of mouth. I don't know this from any personal experience, but apparently women love boobs just as much as guys do. Like they love their own boobs. They love each other's boobs. They like straight. They'll just go like compare sizes, touch it. Oh, I feel my boobies, and they're all cool with it, which is fine. I think that's fine. You know, the more the merrier, really, with boobs. Not on one person, but but in existence. One of the nice things about females being a slight majority in the world population, is just that many more boobs in the world. It's nice. It's a good thing. That's why they have 2 of them. You know, there's one for each gender. Little known fact, when Adam and Eve were first created, Adam and Eve each had 1 boob. And then it just...
And then the child that they had was just...
Yeah, it was all messed up. There's like some snake venom mixed in there with that semen. And like the apples were not, you know...
Yeah. They knew too much.
They were not regulation. So God was just like, fuck you, Adam. You only get no boobs now. You just get those weak, measly little nipples. Your lame pectorals.
Why do men still have nips anyways? Like, well, what's the point of them?
They're sensors.
For what?
I don't know.
Like, if it's a windy day, but that's about it.
They have to do with our empathic abilities. I don't know. We just didn't lose them all the way.
I guess.
Isn't that a thing? Like the embryo or whatever of a little baby human is naturally female, and then you add something to it and it becomes male. I know that's how it worked in Jurassic Park. That's all I know about genetics is from.
I have no idea.
All I know about genetics is what Hammond told me. I'll be honest.
I do not pay attention in health.
Life finds a way. You know. I don't think they teach you that in health. It's probably a biology thing. But we haven't
instead they'll rant about consent for 40 minutes in health instead of teaching useful stuff like this. Why men have nipples.
I would like to know.
I don't care if you don't want to have sex.
Look,
I want to know why I have nipples.
All right. There's a lot of... Man, that got really rapey really fast. This is what I mean. It's all you. I mean, Aiden doesn't care if you consent or not. But you still said it.
True.
I mean, I don't know how the police will feel about that joke.
I don't care. Like...
But regardless, like...
It was a joke. If you cannot take that as a joke, fuck you. I don't care.
Aiden will fuck you, incidentally, whether or not you think it was a joke, apparently. It just keeps coming back around to this. I mean, I don't know. I like how Aiden just here, like, I don't know how to explain it. Every time I come on the podcast, I start, talking about raping women without consent. It's just insane. It's like something overtakes me. I don't understand it. It's very clear.
Yeah, for some reason, when I'm sitting in a room with another man for an hour, I feel like raping someone.
Just really into talking about pornography, when I'm hanging out with other dudes. You did this to yourself. But regardless, the health class thing. There's actually a lot of questions I have. Like, why do we got facial hair? It's not nearly as impressive as like a mane, like a lion. I don't feel like that really helps.
Yeah, true.
There's really no biological reason I can see.
Maybe it's just like leftover gorilla genes.
But why do we have them? Why don't women get facial hair? I mean,
well, they do.
Not as much.
Not as much, yes, but like...
I mean, yeah, even some men can't really grow facial hair. Well, that's true, but that's just like... But just doesn't seem to. It's not to the extent where it would like help keep us warm, you know, in the same way. Like that's one of the benefits if you think about biologically.
Yeah, like eyebrows have a use, eyelashes have a use.
Head hair.
Like, yeah, like regular hair. It keeps your
head warm because it's the most. Yeah, you lose the most heat up there. Yeah. Facial hair.
There's no use for a mustache, or maybe there is.
I mean,
I know a runny nose.
I mean, yeah, biologist isn't really worried about you picking your nose and eating your own boogers, though. I don't think.
Well, if you have a runny nose, maybe you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You've been screaming for the past hour. Your mouth has been wide open, right? And it's a cold day out.
Dripping in.
Yeah. And if you didn't have a mustache.
Good thing I have a mustache on me. The mustache miracle product. Never eat your boogers again. That's what we got to.
So there's the most obscene use for a mustache. Also, mustaches keeping food for later.
Sure.
It's another use. Sideburns. What the hell?
Sideburns? I don't know. Look like a douchebag.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get the facial hair. The only thing I see is like warmth. But then why not females too? They do.
They
need the warmth as much as anyone, you know?
Yeah. I swear it's just leftover gorilla.
It could be that they lost it because, like, babies don't like the beard.
Maybe.
Not a fan most of the time. Well, like, what else do we? Chest hair, same deal.
I guess.
I get it, like the armpits, legs, and pubes and stuff. Females do have that, and then they shave it most of the time. But yeah, I don't think chest hair is a thing. Again, you know what? What they do, they have seal blubber in their boobies. Comes back around to boobies. Best thing ever God ever created. It's boobs.
I guess.
I mean, I
guess.
I think that's cool.
I'm afraid to take a stance on boobs, but I'm perfectly fine with saying that I'll rape someone on Jesus.
Aiden doesn't express his opinions, okay? He doesn't want to get too divisive or anything. He'll rape you, though. He don't give a shit about consent.
Disclaimer, though, for putting this out there.
I don't want to offend any
I do not want to be Me Too'd, okay? I will not rape anyone. It was a joke.
Aiden doesn't want to be Me Too'd. He'll Me Too you, though.
Yeah, we're still running the joke. For clarification here. Because I do not want to get Me Too'd. We're being
completely sarcastic. Aiden would never have sex with you without consent.
You know, if we don't put that
get wasted around him. Yeah. You'll be safe. Don't worry.
But you know, if we don't.
Oh yeah, he's just gonna take you to bed and leave you there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'll go sleep on the couch.
I'm sure all the women out there who are not listening to this podcast feel much safer now.
Okay. Not listening to the podcast?
What women listen to this?
Shanine.
Even Shani has just turned it off at this point.
Yeah, true.
Probably. After we start talking about how great boobs are.
We've had a good run. This has been a good episode so far. Maybe she'd still
if you
listen
say
to
so.
It at this point.
I wanted to talk about the Mandalorian and then.
That's Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda me.
Let me change the conversation really quick. How do I do that? Baby Yoda.
Smash cut to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the credits.